It is absolutely incredible. This is probably the greatest moment of my life as a man, because I get to stand next to literally the most beautiful woman I've ever seen ever in real life. This is incredible. But this is absolutely amazing. She has done it all. She is the legendary Candice Michelle. I'm just gonna start off by saying, I'm sorry for anything I say or do during this, because I'm going to try not to sweat and make myself nervous just by talking to you.
I love all the things you're saying and doing and your energy. I'll try to match that charisma. You're awesome.
Thank you. Someone record that and put it out there and be like, everyone, did you hear that Candice Michelle is totally into Tommy Thomas? She said that he's quote unquote awesome. It is incredible to have you here. Is this your first virtual signing that you've done?
No, it's not. But this one is awesome. I'm so excited to be here.
Have we had at least the funnest staff or the best staff that you've had to interact with of all of them? Not to diss anybody.
So fun. Especially this warehouse that I'm in. I just feel like I've went through like 50 years of wrestling. It's just like such good energy and good
very
vibes,
much so.
and just love being here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Was there anything that stood out to you that you were like, this is so absolutely amazing, I can't believe I got to see this or this or this?
I think what I really love is just the different generations and how we're still getting creative. You guys are getting creative. Like to see these turnbuckles now that you're making. Go from CDs to DVDs to, everything's online now and it's virtual, and all these fun things that you guys are offering for people. And I just think that's awesome that we can still communicate and still connect in a world of today where the connection is a little bit lost. You guys are making it fun, and we're here, and so I love that.
Yes, thank you so much once again for being here. Now, I heard that you have the most unique auction item that any guest has ever brought to the show. What is it?
I'm wearing it! Dun, 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 dun!
Wait, you're auctioning off this...
My outfit!
This...
People always want things that I wore in the ring, and
yes.
I don't really have that anymore. And so now I view my jumpsuits like my new ring gear. So every time I go to a signing, or I'm in the ring, or I'm doing a speech even, I'm always wearing these. And so this is kind of like my new thing. And so I want people to know how dear it is, how close it was to me, and it can be yours.
All right, that's amazing. We're going to start the bidding right now. There is a reserve, fans, but honestly, I think it's going to go well past that reserve right now. So how did you, so you said that you went around, people wanted to buy all of your gear. When did you just have that moment of inspiration where you were like, hey, I'm going to start selling this?
I'm not really, I don't collect things like the way you guys collect things. So I'm always like, oh, okay, somebody wants to enjoy this on that, on another level, I want them to enjoy it. And then all of a sudden I didn't have all that stuff. And then once I had these outfits that I really loved, for me to get new outfits, I want to give them to somebody to enjoy them.
Absolutely.
So it's just kind of the chain reaction.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, fans, hopefully you were bidding in the comments section, but also head on over to highspotsauctions.com. We have updated more Candice Michelle merch, because come on, who doesn't want more Candice Michelle merch, including this Muscle Mag International? Do you remember anything from the shoot, from just posing for this magazine? Of all the thousands of magazines you posed for, this was another one.
This guy works so hard on his body, and I felt really bad for him because he is not recognized in this magazine at all. But it's a classic, and I know you guys like things that you guys don't see for a long time, and this is one of those things. Just because I moved, I got to pull some of my archive things out, and so when I saw this, I thought you guys might like this because not many people have it. It's pretty rare.
Absolutely.
There's only 6.
We only have 6 of these available. Head on over to highspotsauctions.com to pick them up. Now, you just said that you moved. How long ago did you move?
So I've been on a journey.
Okay.
I was in California, and I sold my house, and I moved into an RV, and we called it 5,000 square feet to 500. Just a journey of my values and life and being with my family through the pandemic. We all kind of got to realize, hey, what's important to you? And I thought, that's not really important to me right now. So we hopped in this RV, went to 21 different places, And we landed in our new home in Texas. So I'm in Texas now. I'm a cowgirl. Yeehaw!
Is everything what's been the biggest culture shock between going from California to Texas?
For me, it's just been so many wonderful things with the people. Oh my God, my favorite thing is that whole yes ma'am thing. Like this guy held a door open for me and I was like, thank you. And he's like, yes ma'am. And I was just like, oh my God, my heart just melted for him. So men out there, it is very manly to say the whole yes ma'am thing. It's just
yes,
a
ma'am.
very
yes ma'am. Yes ma'am it is.
You don't hear anybody in California saying yes ma'am. And so I just love that culture and that southern drawl and that respect.
Are you going to eventually get the southern accent too, where you're going to start sounding like all of us around here?
I call myself the biggest tourist Texan.
Okay.
I wear everything like Texas. Like, I have cowboy boots, I wear cowboy hats. Like, nobody in Texas wears this stuff. So me and my whole family, my 3 little girls, and we pull up in our working boots, our working cowboy boots, and we go to the farmer's market. We're Texans. And the lady at the booth is like, oh, you guys all wore your cowboy boots today. I'm like, don't you do that in Texas? Like... Clearly, they know we're not from Texas, but we love it so much. Like, I feel like we play dress up all the time for it.
Did you bring a cowboy hat with you to travel in?
No, I didn't, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, get your travel cowboy hat on.
Hey.
That's the next logical step. Now, Michael, just a quick question. Has anybody started the bidding on this jumpsuit and has it hit the reserve yet?
James Hewitt is up to $250 on the jumpsuit.
Okay.
Hi, James.
Once again, fans, the bidding continues. It's at $250 right now. Now, I just want to backtrack a step. A lot of our fans out there, or at least a lot of people that watch the replay of this, are a lot of younger single men. So do you have any advice for all the guys out there that, what would be your best piece of advice for a man to, I guess, get to know a woman like you?
Oh, I honestly, I know it sounds so simple, but just be yourself. That whole booging and schmoozing and, I don't know, the whole yes ma'am. Oh, I mean, just so simple, but it's like so like endearing to the heart.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of things that are endearing to the heart, I like to ask all of my guests this question. Is there anything that is close to your heart? Any social issues, charities, causes that you like to talk about and let all these fans know about or just maybe do some research on?
Yeah, I myself have been really vocal lately, just struggling with these panic attacks. It's been about 4 months for me, out of nowhere. It's not like somebody's died in my life or bad things are happening. And so it's really weird when you have a mental health issue and no crisis around you. But I just think that so many people in the world right now are dealing with some kind of anxiety, depression, and by me vocalizing this on social media, I've actually gotten so much support. Matter of fact, this signing that I canceled was the first time I've ever canceled a signing in my entire career. And so that was really hard. So whatever money comes from this will go to whatever charity that you guys decide. This is completely a donated item for a charity of your guys' choice. Or if you guys just want to go out to dinner and enjoy it, because you guys were so kind to me. Like, I felt like crap at home. Like, calling up my agent saying, I can't make this. Like, that's really crappy feeling. And from that first call back, it was like, no problem. Take your time. Get better. Heal. And not everybody responds that way. And so when you got that kind of feedback, and everybody out there that I've posted, fans have emailed me with solutions and vitamins and supplements and what works for you. And I've literally taken all of those things. I'm like a full-time guinea pig for myself. But just never, ever give up. Like, I know those feelings are dark and there's suffering in it, but there's tremendous gifts in it. And so please, if you're out there and you're struggling, look at me. I'm struggling. This is what struggle looks like. I'll be honest. Like, it's a struggle to get here. It's a struggle to put my makeup on. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, okay, I'm showing up. Just show up and just keep hustling.
Absolutely. And I firmly agree with you. I don't think a lot of people or at least I think most people will see you and just go, "Oh, she's got the perfect life."
Yeah.
What could she even? But everyone's got struggles. Everyone's got their
Yeah.
issues, and honestly, I think a couple of months ago you did a live video with you and your husband, and you guys actually discussed this for
Yeah.
about an hour, just the whole thing. And it was just I actually watched the whole thing. Like when it went live, I was like, "Oh, let me see what's going on," and then I ended up just sitting there watching it because I was just so enthralled with someone just, I guess, exposing themselves that much emotionally.
Yeah.
Have you always been just a person to wear your heart on your sleeve like that, or is that something that's come since you've had that?
No, I think for me, when I can, the gift that I have is I can see the gift in the situation, even if it's a struggle. So I know that it can help somebody. What I didn't see in that was how many of you guys were going to help me. I thought, oh, if I put this out there and say that I'm struggling with this, and then I find a solution and I fix it, then I can help millions of people. But the millions of people help me. Like people that I've known for 20 years that called me up and said, I've been suffering for this for 20 years. The last appearance I was at, the ref was like, I've been crying for 2 years. I don't know if I can keep going. Those moments was just because of me being vulnerable, but it let you guys know, like, hey, we're in this together. Like, there's no giving up. That's not an option. It's just not an option. And the suffering sucks. It's terrible. It's like, like people when they diet, they're like, this sucks. But you do it because it's good for you, right? You just wake up and you just keep tagging people in. I tag in people every day. I tag in supplements every day. I tag in IVs and infrared light and red light and what will fix me. And I look forward to that day of just being like, all right, I feel healthy. But more importantly, I look forward to that person saying, I kept going because you did.
Absolutely. What has been one of your biggest inspirations in this quest? Not just or at least someone who you've kind of looked to. You said that millions look to you and have helped inspire you. Is there any in particular people where you've been like, man, reading about this person or hearing this person's story really helped put that into perspective?
What it started for me was actually before these attacks. It's my sister said to me one day, she's like, Candice, how come you always get what you want? And she's like, I just wish.
Okay, that's like, incredible.
She did. She said, I wish I knew what I wanted so I could go after it. And I thought, well, we're blood. We're, same mom, same father. Like, why do I always know what I want and she doesn't? Like, what makes us different? And then I thought, if I helped her, how many millions of people are home just thinking, I wish I had this, or I wish I could do this, and how can I put together something? And so that's just been my gift these past years, is putting together this stuff. And my sister has really been that inspiration, because you want your family members just to be so happy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so, unfortunately for her, she had to be my guinea pig too. So I'd be like, I created this program. Let's test it and see if you know what you want. And she's like, I don't know what I want still. I'm like, okay, And so we're just always figuring it out. But, she's really been an inspiration for me.
Absolutely. That's an incredible story. Has anybody been inspired to increase the bidding on this absolutely phenomenal gear that she's wearing right now?
It's at $250, but I don't think we're done. But I do have a question. So you do not have a charity that you would want to donate the money to?
No, actually, I'm donating it to High Spots.
Well, then here's what we'll do.
Okay.
Whoever is the winning bidder will decide where the money gets donated.
Oh, great.
Yay! So, so fans, please continue bidding in the comments section on this incredible set of gear, jump bodysuit, whatever you want to call it. I'm just at a loss for words right now. We're going to continue on, though, with this interview. Now, I don't really talk too much about wrestling, but do you keep up with any of the modern wrestling of today?
I wish I could say I did. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I have 3 wonderful children, and that is a full-time job. So when I get to go do the signings and stuff, it's really when I catch up a lot. They're like, oh, do you know so-and-so or this or no? Or, when you're at a convention, which I hope comes back to reality soon, you get to meet them and see them. But unfortunately, I just don't have the time to watch all the shows.
Gotcha.
But I do love all of the blooming of it, right?
Yes.
I think it pushes each company to be better and bolder, and especially the women's division. Obviously, I'm partial to that because I was in that division for a long time.
Had the championship for quite some time.
But when you see all these competitors and what the women are doing nowadays, it just blows me away on how incredible they are.
All right. Mikey Jr. bid $275, and James Hewitt responded with $300. So we're waiting for
Yay,
Mikey
James!
to see whether he's in or out, or if there's any other final bidders.
Now, you said you have 3 children, like boys, girls.
I have all girls.
Wow. So your husband's the only man in the house right now.
Well, we got a dog to even it out a little
Okay.
bit, but I got a lot of testosterone in me, so I kind of balance it for everybody.
If any one of the daughters say, hey, we want to go into the wrestling business,
Oh, boy.
what's your response?
I'm a mom, and so I try to tell them to be a doctor like their daddy and be a chiropractor.
Smart.
But daddy tells him to be the wrestler. So he's in the pool with them and he's doing wrestling moves. I'm like, you don't even know what move that is. And he has them being characters. He's like, or, in the pool. I'm like, what is happening? But if they want to do it, I want them to live their dream. That's most important. Do what they love.
Was being a professional wrestler your dream, or what was your childhood dream where you were like, I wanted to do this when I was growing up? This was always the aspiration.
Well, it's weird because my dream, the way I labeled it back then, was I wanted to be famous.
Okay, no, I mean that's a perfectly logical and reasonable dream and expectation.
Well,
so yeah,
it's kind of weird, but the reason why, so then bring it full circle. So I grew up watching wrestling every Monday night on the couch with my stepdad Ken. We're cheering for Hulk Hogan. I had a Hulk Hogan doll, but when I watched wrestling back then, it didn't seem like reality to me. It was like real life, like superstars. Like you can't train and be that. It's not like you go to school and be a doctor. I didn't know there was a wrestling school, and they don't talk about that when you're watching.
They should tell people that, like, hey, we have schools for this.
And so when I went to California and then got a call for the Diva search, I just thought it was really wild how it was coming full circle. So it's like, I think it was my dream, but I didn't know how to verbalize that back then, But back then it was just like, I wanted to be like that, but I didn't know it was wrestling that I wanted to be. And so it was a journey, I went through the Hollywood, world, and then became a wrestler. And then I came to find out it was actually my stepdad's dream. And so one day when I'm in the ring, he's like, you're living my dream. And I was like, oh my God.
Which business or which industry is a little bit wilder, for lack of a better term? The wrestling industry or the entertainment industry?
They're pretty neck and neck, I'll be honest. But that's what makes it fun. It's
Very much.
you never know what's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
We have so many stories to tell.
Yes.
I have so many lessons I've learned. So many things I've done that I'm proud of and learned a lot from.
Now, what was your proudest moment in just wrestling entertainment, all of it? What's been your proudest moment where you're just like, man, I felt like that was just an amazing moment?
I'd actually say winning both championships. And honestly, even though I love the women's championship because nobody thought I could do it, right? So that one for me, it was like proving to myself. But the 24/7 one was a little bit more powerful for me, but it sounds weird because it was like this split-second decision, right? It's like, you're going to hold the title, and then you're not. So how can that be so meaningful? But the reality with that is people don't see what you're doing behind the scenes, right?
Yes.
Nobody just walks into that ring and becomes a star. And even when I was away, I've been working and working, not in the ring working, but working on what's next for me. And then I believe the universe conspires for you. And so all of a sudden, I come here to Raw, and I thought I'd be maybe in a pre-tape, probably not even seen. And then I win a title, and I was like, dang, like, that's pretty cool. Like, that's the universe saying, hey, you know what? You're doing the work. Keep doing the work. You just get it for a second. You got to go back to work. But it's just being a champ 24/7. It's just what I talk about. I preach. I try to live by that. And so that one was really important to me.
That is absolutely incredible. And that was a memorable moment, you winning the 24/7 title. One of only 2 women in history to ever hold that prestigious championship. Michael, has anybody increased the bidding on, once again, I can't really even look right now because I'll pass out.
James Hewitt, $400. Put this on a 10-second clock and then just remind everybody about where they can go to get pictures.
Can I say something about the charity thing?
Yeah, absolutely,
So-
please.
This is something that I believe in charity-wise, and so whoever wins this outfit or bids for it, I'd like to offer this up. I love all charity, right? Charity is a great thing, no matter what you donate to. But I also like to look at sometimes the charity might be your neighbor. Maybe your neighbor can't pay their mortgage. Maybe it's, a friend that wants to go to this class and can't afford it, so sometimes charity isn't always the biggest organization, and I think those are great too. But sometimes you just might know that one person where you're like, I can't just give it to them. But then if you get a little motivation, you're like, you know what? This was for charity and this was part of the deal, and we want to see you do this. So I just like to open that up if you guys are okay with that.
It's your jumpsuit. Anything? Your rules.
It's your world. It is your world. I'm just happy to be in it right now. We're going to count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Waving my hands in the air.
Like I just don't care.
Exactly. She knows what's up. Michael, who is our winner?
James Hewitt, as soon as we make sure it clears. So.
Okay. James Hewitt. Now, before I let you go, I just got to know, what are you streaming? What are you listening to? What's pop culture that the fans need to be checking out right now?
Oh, like listening to
Like
music?
listening music-wise, or what are you watching on Netflix?
Okay.
Anything pop culture that you're into right now?
So I'm so into this new genre of music called country rap.
Wait, like Cowboy Troy and like I'm trying to think of another name.
Like SMO and oh my god, I'm so bad with names, but it's just like that country vibe. But, it's got a little bit more gangsterness to it, a little bit more of a beat, And so it's just, I don't know, I like it. It's fun.
So, fans, look up country rap music.
Country rap music.
If you go to a concert, you might see Candice Michelle there rapping along to every country rapper that exists. Have we closed up the bidding on this?
Yep, James Hewitt is the winner. We're going to end
Yay, James! Thank you. Congratulations.
James, please let us know what you would like this beautiful young lady to sign on it. And
We'll bring her back to close the show to sign it online.
Wait,
Just-
should we talk?
Yeah, we're just going to... She'll come back. She'll sign this piece live exactly how they want, and we'll close things down.
All right, well, you fans heard it. Miss Candice Michelle is heading to the back to continue signing, but she will be out here in a little while. That was incredible. That was the best walk-off of any guest we've ever had. That's not even a joke. She did a whole dance with it. It was smooth. She hit the moonwalk in heels. I don't know how that's possible. But